We've got some other questions from
Yes,
the
I
floor.
would like to say something. John and Glennie Scott, we live on Fiasco Avenue here in Palmerston. We've lived there for 15 years, and we would like to move. We would like to move to Forde. But we are absolutely horrified to find out that there's no builder can give us a piece of land to build on.
At Forde?
At Forde. We went up to the display village a couple of weeks ago, and the builders there said, well, this is something we have to do. We were locked into having this 2 years ago. Sorry, we can't give you any land, but you can look at houses. What's the point in that, you know? All our married life we've been able to buy and sell, and when we're ready to sell, we've been able to buy a new home. This is just totally frustrating that we can't move to an area where we just can't have a block of land. We can't even get a builder to do us a house and land package. The particular house we went into, we only went into one, then we went home. We went into one and he said, look, I'll be honest with you, he said, if it wasn't for the knockdowns that I have and some land development in Bungalow, he said, I'd be out of business. And he said, so would half of these builders. Because he said there's just no land available, and when it does become available, it's going to be double the price it is now.
Well, I'll ask David Dawes to respond to some of the detail around land supply. Certainly, the government acknowledges that the level of demand and perhaps pent-up demand within the ACT is extreme. The Australian Bureau of Statistics today, for instance, released the August year on year housing finance commitments from around Australia. The ACT had the highest level of housing finance commitments in the last year at 22%. The next highest in Australia was Queensland at 9.8%. The value of housing commitments in the ACT in the last year, year on year, was 27% higher than the previous year against the national average, I think, of 7.9%. The ACT housing market is hot. It's red hot. It's 3 times higher than in the next highest state in Australia in terms of housing finance commitments. You know, it's an enormous level of demand. We've taken our anticipated residential land supply this year. We've doubled it. We've in the space of a year, in the context of just demand, driven to some extent by decisions taken outside our control. You know, one can argue, well, perhaps the government should have anticipated that another government would in the space of 2 years increase its workforce by 10,000. I confess that I did. It had not occurred to us or to our planners that the Commonwealth could, in the space of 2 budgets, budget for that size or level of increase in its workforce. And you know, our economy is just so hot. And yes, we are struggling seriously in terms of providing development ready land. We're working really hard. We've changed, you know, just I might say, with respect to David, David, long-time Chief Executive of Master Builders. I want something built or land developed. I've gone out to people that I regard as, you know, the leaders in the field. It's quite interesting that we now have the ex-Chief Executive of Master Builders driving land supply in a departmental sense. The ex-National President of the Master Builders Association now heads the Land Development Agency. I'm employing and engaging people who know about land supply and know about building things. And we've changed dramatically the culture within our government in the last year. The rules we've put in place, the new territory plan, the change in the reform that's occurred in the last 18 months is truly dramatic. We've actually returned at one level in order to meet pent-up demand to enclave our land release. Bob Winnell is now at West McGregor developing 780 blocks, fast-tracking, significant, almost 300 home and land packages there. Home and land at less than 200 at less than 300,000 and another 100 at less than.
But we want to go to Forde.
Sure. Sure. I think you need to understand the context. I don't know. I'm just going to ask David. I don't know the arrangements for the land supply. It's a joint venture, the LDA, Consolidated Builders. Bill, I think I'd have I just I don't know the technical.
Dave, can we just hold that for just for a moment? Yeah. Just interesting that you bring up Kosciuszko Avenue, because there are a number of people in that area who are quite concerned about the development of Crace, and the fact that the concept plans, there are no guarantees about Nudurr Avenue being extended all the way through to Gungahlin Drive, which will mean that everyone coming to the town centre will funnel up Kosciuszko Avenue.
Yeah, I suppose, can I just quickly respond to that? The concept plan does talk about the need to review the extension of Nudurr Drive at a time after Gungahlin Drive is fully completed, and review the entire road hierarchy within that immediate area. So Gungahlin Drive, Nudurr Drive, Nudurr Drive, the Barton Highway intersection of Nudurr Drive. So it's not saying it won't. The road is gazetted in terms of it's reserved. So it's something that needs to be reviewed and then timed and staged through the capital works program if the decision is made to proceed.
That the timing will work basically with the Crace releases. Just before you go, I think Kevin would like to raise just a local electric issue, Gold Creek Homestead. You've got the variation coming to you fairly soon, and I think it's up before the committee.
We've been supported. We've supported the change in land use, essentially on the belief that the community areas, there would be some areas for community use, would, in a sense, be safe and would be enough money to develop them for with community facilities. Our concern is that we actually have no guarantees that this is actually going to happen. And we don't want to get into the situation.
Can you just give us some indication of what community field facilities you
well, the
first is supported? What would the priority?
We don't care, but in the sense that we don't think that's necessarily our job at this stage, and we think that's the sort of community facilities should be developed in conjunction with the people who are going to have the old people's home, because the sort of facilities that will be good will be ones that will be useful to them as well as to us. Our worry is that, as with some other areas, that the control over that community facilities will be lost, and they are likely to slip in the hands, if you like, of the people who will be running the old people's home. And ultimately, our concern is that the rest of the community will lose control.
And in fact, the supporting reports for the draft variation said things along those lines. It seemed to indicate that it would be so-called swallows.
It's a little worry that you'll get into a situation that something like that happened with Caravan Park. We just don't want to get into that situation.
I don't want to do it. Look, I must say this is not an issue that I'm across at all. I think now that yes, certainly, and I'd be more than happy to respond formally. You know,
and I know you did as well. One kid that told me.
Yes. Yes. Look, I'll have to take advice on it. It's not an issue that I've actually been raised with me or that I'm across, but certainly we'll take the concern seriously and respond.
John, I will let you go.
I'm sorry that I
we still have plenty of suits here to answer other questions, though. I'm not in a suit today because I'm on holidays. John, if you don't mind, we might set up a meeting that you can attend and make sure that your EA blocks out more than an hour.
Yeah, actually, I actually had a function at 5 as well, so I've had a
very tight up.
But I don't normally have 3.
We thank you very much for the time you have.